We're live.
Hey, y'all.
We're live.
And welcome to the first day of our holiday series. We'll be going live every day from now until Christmas.
Why?
Why?
Because most people think that having a spending problem or a budgeting problem, right? That's what most people think. Most people think they just have a spending problem. Most people think they just have a budgeting problem. Most people think they have a discipline problem, right?
Yeah.
But what do they actually have?
What they actually have is a cash flow design problem. And the consequences of that problem don't show up until something breaks: a layoff, a medical bill, a family emergency, or a policy change that you didn't vote for.
Who didn't vote for?
You, as in you, did not vote for.
So today is not about hustling, y'all. All right. Today is not about hustling and grinding and all of that stuff. You know, we ain't about that life. It's about flexibility. It's about control, right? So we do not teach what we don't practice. Our Black Utopia does not run on one paycheck or one platform or one idea. We live abroad. We run a business. We've seen what happens when income is fragile. If you are of a certain age and you have not been laid off, then you probably work for the government. Because we've watched, and we understand that most folks who are boomers or older Gen Xers have been laid off, especially if you work for major corporations. So those days of like our moms, our dads, our grandmothers and grandfathers, when we could just like stay at a place and get a pension, right? Those days are over. Even six-figure earners have been panicking, right?
Yeah.
Retirees freeze, smart people get stuck. Look, y'all, this is not because they were like necessarily bad with money. It's because their income had no backup system.
Mm-mm.
And so if you are living paycheck to paycheck, and we know that folks who even make six figures are living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe two paychecks to two paychecks, even that is not good. All right. So we are going to talk about why in the Melon Felons America, having one income is no longer a viable option for most of us, unless you're making like well over six figures per person. You need multiple streams of income. Unless you are saving 40 to 50 to 60% of your income, you need multiple streams of income. This is America today.
Yeah. Our screen is blurry for some reason. I'm looking at it here on my phone.
And so y'all let us know, because right now it looks like
That's
we're
what they're
getting a
saying.
good signal and everything, yet the screen is blurry, the audio is lagging. I agree, multiple streams of income. Yeah, I don't know. Because we've got full bars.
Yeah, we got full bars. I tested. Speed check was great. There was no dropped packets.
I'm not happy about this.
Yeah, and I'm kind of looking at it, monitoring on my phone too, and I noticed that too.
Okay,
like
so
it's trying
Benita
to
says
clear up.
blurry, Sarah says blurry. Killer Queen, we'll get to what does that mean. Okay, so y'all hear us fine, and it's getting better.
Yeah, it's getting better.
It's getting better. Yeah, it's looking a little better, but I don't like the way that looks, and I can't see what things look like. So I'm gonna go look. Y'all, if you are viewing from the future, hey, Welcome to live, y'all. Welcome to live.
It's like,
this
wow.
this is the stuff that happens. And I just apologize right off the bat.
Turn that VPN off again. I turned it off and it comes back on.
Okay, let's see if that helps.
See it connected again.
So, yeah, okay, we're going to do something. Sometimes, y'all, so we're going to go ahead and turn this off. Be patient with us, and then we'll get back to it.
Yeah, just making us freeze and stuff too.
Yeah. How do we get rid of this? Yes.
Everything's tested out. Everything. So, okay.
Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Are we back?
Okay.
That looks good. That looks good on
That
your
looks
phone.
a whole lot better, but
Okay, so no VPN.
I've turned it off. I don't know why it turned itself back on. I make sure the VPN is off.
So if there's no dot under it, it's off. If there's a dot under it, it's on. So it looks like we're good now. Tell me we're good now.
I think we are.
Okay, looks better. Looks better. All right, you guys are talking. All right, here we go. So here's the deal, y'all. We understand that the melon felon has purposely made our economy worse. We understand that. We understand that the melon felon has purposely attacked the jobs that Black women and some Black men work. We understand that. What we are saying is that there has never been a time in this century where you should have only had one income. So if you're now just now getting hip to the skip, because see, Rick and I have had two incomes. We've had multiple streams of income from the beginning of our relationship. So that means from the beginning of the century. And so hopefully this latest catastrophe called a government has gotten you hip to the skip that you need more than one form of income. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we're going to talk about why that is. We're going to talk about how vulnerable you are if all you have is a job, right? If your only form of income is a job and you're not making, I'm gonna qualify that. I'm gonna qualify that. We're gonna qualify that as we go along. So if you only have one job and you meet these qualifications, then maybe you do not need multiple streams of income. But I'm going to tell you, there's probably very few of us who meet that criteria. Okay. All right. Hey, y'all. We're going to get started, right?
Yeah.
My name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to Our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money. We talk about money, y'all. We talk about travel and life abroad. We help folks who look like us, who are getting close to retirement age and forgot to plan, get their money straight so that they can retire on time or maybe even early.
And abroad ain't bad either.
Abroad's not bad.
Not at all.
All right, sweetheart. So what are we talking about
today? We're talking about one income stream is a financial risk now.
It's
a risk.
Really is, y'all. It really is. So tonight we're going to go over three things. We're going to be defining the cash flow gap, or as we call it, beyond the bling, the delta, right? What is the cash flow delta, like delta sigma theta? That's what we want you to think about. What is the delta? We're going to explain why one income stream is a trap,
showing how multiple income streams actually work.
And in real life, not just on Instagram. We're going to show you why this approach can work for you. Okay? All right, let's get started. All right. First, we're going to ask you our trivia question.
Trivia time.
Yeah. Okay. So this trivia question actually does not have a right or wrong answer, right? Okay.
You want me to read it?
Yes.
If your primary income stopped tomorrow, how long could you maintain your current life?
There's no right or wrong answer. Okay. But here it is. 1 to 3 months. A, 1 to 3 months. B, 3 to 6 months. C, 6 plus months. Right? Like don't do not answer inspirationally, y'all.
No, don't.
Look. Okay? Be realistic.
Answer honestly.
Really?
Answer honestly.
Exactly. All right. Here we go. A year. Okay. We got a year. We got 1 to 3 months, 1 to 3 months, 1 to 3 months, 1 to 3 months. Most people 1 to 3 months. And some people are saying 3 to 6 months. So most people are 1 to 6 months.
Okay.
Rick and I saved 2 years of living expenses before we moved. 2 years of living expenses. Now, that 2 years living expenses were our living expenses for Denver, but would not have sufficed in LA. I'm just going to be real.
Gotta have more.
It would not.
Gotta have more.
It would not have sufficed in LA. All right. So let's talk about what is the cash flow gap. What are we talking about? Because what we want you to get, we talk all the time about it's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go. But if you do not have the money to go, or if you want to stay and fight, you still got to have money. And you cannot be dependent upon a safety net that no longer exists. All right. So this is what the cash flow gap is not. It is not your net worth, y'all. Okay. So when we say that we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth, that doesn't mean our cash flow is 1.1 million. We are not making 1.1 million every year. Okay. That's not what net worth is. What net worth is, what is it, y'all? Let's see what you say. What is net worth? Assets minus what? Yes, liabilities. Assets minus liabilities. Assets are all of the things that you have that is worth something and is worth more than you paid. So probably your house could be an asset.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of us, our car is not.
Because it depreciates.
Exactly. Like crazy. And some of us are upside down in our car, right? But if you bought a used car and you paid basically cash or something, then that could be an asset as well. Okay. So assets minus liabilities. What is a liability? Short-term liabilities. I'm teaching you guys these words because this is how you are going to look at stocks as well. This is the same terminology, y'all. All right. Same terminology. When you look at index funds, when you look at stock that you might want to invest in, these are the things that you're going to look at. Right. Okay. It works the same. It works the same. Your financial advisor tries to tell you that they know more than you, but they don't. Because if they did, they wouldn't be working anymore. I'm just saying.
They understand the rules of the game and how the game is played.
But they ain't playing them right. And so how can they advise you if they're not playing it right? Like if they're 30, okay. But if they're 50 and they've been in this game for 20 years, why in the hell are they still working? That's all I want to know. So assets minus liabilities equal your net worth. Okay. Liability, your short-term liabilities are credit cards. Another short-term liability may be a car loan. I've heard car loans are getting up to 10 to 12 years and stuff like that. That doesn't equal a short-term liability, but 3 to 4 years or so, right? That's a short-term liability. Your mortgage is a long-term liability, but those are all liabilities. Assets minus your liabilities equals your net worth. You need to know what your net worth is because you need to have a starting point to see how you going to get your shit together, okay? If you have a negative net worth, which Rick and I did at one point, because our liabilities exceeded our assets, we had a negative net worth. If you have a negative net worth, there is a huge opportunity for you to get your stuff together. All right. So, cash flow gap is not your savings.
No.
It's not your credit
It's not
score.
your credit score. No.
Right. What the cash flow gap is
The space between your expenses and income you do not control.
So, for example,
Your salary, pension, rules, Social Security, employer health care.
right? All of those things that you cannot control equal your income. All right. And even yeah, because pensions you can't control either, right? So if someone else can turn off your money, you do not have secure. If someone else can turn off your money, you don't have security. I don't care how much you're making, unless you have provided that security for yourself, unless you have been saving 30, 40, 50% of your income, like Rick and I were, over an extended period of time, like Rick and I didn't, then maybe you have security. But that one income alone, that's not security. All that is permission.
Permission.
You got permission. Permission to spend this money because if we like you, we will give you some more money next week or in 2 weeks when the payroll comes out. If we still like you then. If we don't, maybe not. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. All right. So let's get started. We're going to welcome our new members.
All the new members, welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome to the chat.
So if you are a member, y'all know we got together right before our live stream and had some chitty chats. It got not heated.
It was interesting. Yeah.
But it got lively up in there, right?
It gets lively every week.
Every week, right? And then for our legends, we also invite you to come on air with us every other Thursday, okay? And that's what we do. All right. Let's see who is in the chat as we get started. Of course, we got CK. Of course, we got CK.
Yeah,
right?
Shows up. CK in the house.
In the house. Hey, DKM and Dr. James. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Rapper MD.
And Sandra. Yes. Of course, we've got Gwen and Derek.
Hey, Gwen and Derek.
And we got La 85, La J. You know you can change and put some kind of name in there. You ain't got to just go with the stuff that YouTube gave you when you signed up. You really don't. You can change that name. Okay?
That might be the name they want.
La J 8599-C3B.
Yeah, it could be LAJ. Louisiana J. It could be anything. La.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, A-Lee, good to see you in the house. Hello. Look at all of those question marks. How's it going? How you been? Welcome back. and everything, right? Hey, Allison.
Hey, Allison.
Good to see you in the house. Miriam is in the house.
Benita.
Benita and Vanessa and Crystal. Yolanda is in the house. Hey, Chastity.
Hey, Chastity. Killer Queen.
I had to let him say that. Hey, Killer Queen from snowy Long Island. Ooh, you back home. You back home. Ooh, I'm sorry. You back home for the holidays? Is that what you're doing?
Stay bundled up. You don't want to catch no cold.
I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. I do not miss it. I do not miss the snow.
Well, I caught a cold when we left Carousel, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
On the way back.
A bit of a cold.
In Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it was hot there, but not like you would though in the snow.
No.
Right.
So take care of yourself, Killer Queen.
Exactly. Maria is in the house. Black Diamond, Donna. All right, y'all. We see you guys. Yakota. House Sitter, Yolanda, Phyllis. Hello, PE. We got Donna is in the house. Tana Rose and Bobby. Okay, we see you guys. And of course, y'all.
Action BJ.
We have two folks who are always in the house, and that is Action VJ as well as, where's Greta? I'm sure Greta's here somewhere. All right, I'll find Greta. All right, y'all. Be nice because you don't want Action VJ kicking you out, okay? Be nice.
He doesn't kick them out.
He don't kick them out.
I think he times them out.
Oh, is that what he does? Yeah. All right. For those of you who are new to the channel, you might not know. Back in 2018, Rick and I got a wake-up call. We looked at our money, y'all, and it looked crazy. But we got our financial act together. And see, like I said, we've always had a side hustle. And thank God we did. Yeah. Because when our money looked crazy and we got that wake-up call, we did get our financial act together, and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth. And y'all, if we can do it, you can do it too. Okay? You can do it too. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please hit that like button.
Give it a thumbs up.
All right. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers before our 4-year anniversary. No, before the end of the year. 100,000 before the end of the year. Help us do that. Share this channel. Share it with all your family members. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them it's time to get into the program. Stop tripping. Stop acting like, I ain't going nowhere and this and that and other. And I know this and that. Look, we done heard it before, right? We know that our people need information about how to invest money, how to save money, and how to make money. We know that. All right? So we need you to share this information with somebody. All right. We're going to tell you why one income stream is dangerous, if you do not already know, all right? Because one income stream has not made sense since I've been an adult.
It hasn't made sense since the 80s. When did you become an adult?
In the 80s. I mean, back then, we had a different economy, y'all. Before Reagan, we still had a huge percentage of the population that was working in union jobs. Okay. So that's number one. So we had those stronger labor protections. We also, back in those days, had affordable health care. And I remember, because I'm old, y'all, back in those days, my parents who were in their 20s and could afford a house, because you could do that back in those days. See, why have we accepted that you got to be 40 before you can buy a house in America? We've accepted that. And that's policy. That's politics. That's not the market. Okay. That is not the market. But anyway, back to the story at hand. So we were living in this neighborhood, and my parents were the youngest on the block. I'm just going down the streets because we lived on kind of a cul-de-sac. Yeah, they were the youngest on the block. Across the street was Dr. So-and-so. Next door was Dr. So-and-so. You get the point? And then, yeah, they had Cadillacs and we only had like the equivalent of a Ford Focus. But here's the thing. Everybody in those days could afford health care. And I remember the wives of those doctors coming to my mom and saying, do not vote on this legislation that's going to put insurance companies in charge of health care. And they were going door to door way back then in the 70s, before HMOs, before Kaiser and all that crap, and saying this change in policy is going to be bad. Not only is it going to hurt Black doctors who usually work for lower fees, right? It's going to be bad for everybody, from the hospitals all the way down to your family practitioners. And here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. They were so right. They were so right. It is the healthcare system that y'all have in America, y'all, is shit. It's shit. And you guys have been bamboozled to think that y'all got the best healthcare in the world, when really, even by and I'm not going to say objective, because these organizations that rate this stuff are still Western dominated, right? And they've still placed it at number 32 or something. Okay, 32. How many developed nations are there? You know? So that world where we could depend upon one salary, even in a two salary household, those two salaries, no, you need three. We always had three salaries plus. Okay. So yeah, one salary per person is not enough. Not today. I'm sorry. That's the world we live in. Because
jobs, they end without warning, contracts expire, benefits disappear, and age discrimination is real.
So one income stream, y'all, equals 1 point of failure.
Yeah.
You cannot have all of your eggs in one basket. We know that. Come on. And adults do not build systems with 1 point of failure. That's not how we operate.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right? That is not how we operate. So Rick and I, for our whole relationship, not our whole marriage, our whole relationship, we have had a side hustle for our whole relationship.
Yes, we have.
And that has helped keep us out of deep debt. I'm not going to say all debt, deep debt. And I can't even imagine how much debt we would be in had we not made the money that we made doing those side hustles.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. All right. Let's see what you guys are talking about. And then we are going to talk about what multiple income streams actually means. All right. Because we're going to reframe it. We're not talking about hustle and grind. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about hustle and grind. We're not talking about, okay, now you got to do Lyft or Uber or Uber delivers or some of that nonsense. No, that's not what we're talking about, y'all. And then we're not talking about 100% passive income either, because there is very little income that is 100% passive. Even investments, you had to work for that money in the first place before it could start working for you, right? So I don't know if any money is really passive, but you can make money while you sleep. You can make money while you sleep. And that's what we should be aiming for. All right. Okay. So we're going to reframe that. But first, let's see what you guys are talking about. And we are going to mark some of these questions. So CK says, please define one financial stream. I'm envisioning pensions, Social Security, retirement accounts, brokerage accounts. I think that's now CK. And I'm only saying this because CK is very particular, y'all. We know her. Accounts is ACCTS, not ACTS. So brokerage accounts and savings, these are not streams, correct? So yes, no, these are streams of income. So other streams of income are things that you can control. We all have at least one stream of income that we probably cannot control. Unless you are 20 or 30 years old and you've not gotten to the point where you have earned any unemployment insurance, right? Or any disability or what have you, right? But for all of the people, for the majority of the people who are watching us right now, we all have one stream of income. So, so when we're talking about, what you can control and what you can't control, you don't want streams of income, every stream of income to be out of your control. Social Security, pensions, retirement accounts, all the stuff that CK is talking about right now are out of our control. Brokerage accounts are not necessarily out of our control, and that's not what we're talking about. Okay, we're not talking about savings. Okay, right now, we're going to talk about that. But right now, we're talking about active income streams. And when I say later, I mean later in a few minutes. That's what I mean. I don't mean later another day. Okay. Hey there, Mona, new member.
Mona.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Welcome.
Yes. Greetings from Portland. Hey, Pacific Northwest. Your screen is blurry. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully we've gotten over the blurry stuff.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think we're good now. So I think our thing is to make sure we've got our VPN off. Just keep preaching. The message is coming through loud and clear. Thank you, A Better Life. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Yeah. And sometimes when it's blurry, y'all can still hear us, right? Okay. So I'm going to get past all the frozen stuff. Let's go all the way down. All right. And see what you guys are saying. And then we will move on. So y'all, we're going to be going live every single day. We're going to be going live every single day. Okay, so keep a lookout. You want to click that notification bell. See that bell down below? Click it twice so you know every single time we go live or drop a new video. So from now until Christmas, we're going to go live every day. And then we're thinking about doing something for Kwanzaa. Y'all know that my father was involved in the rollout of Kwanzaa back in the 60s. Yep. That's why I'm Sister Soldier and Malcolm X's daughter. Y'all got it right. All right. So House Sitting Retiree says there was hardly ever a time in my working life that I didn't have 2 jobs or 3. So we're not encouraging you guys to get 1, 2, 3 jobs. That's not what we're saying. Yeah. Okay. But we understand that there's some points in our lives where we might have had to do that, but that's not what we're saying for today. Worked for the state. I'm worn out, honestly. Yes, I understand physically and mentally. And I cannot imagine because I've never had more than 2 jobs and I've never had more than 2 W-2 jobs. I've had 2 W-2 jobs. I've worked 2 jobs at a time. I worked 2 jobs when I was in school. Okay. So these little whippersnappers with their little weak sauce mentality, don't even come. Because will it? No, because I work 2 jobs. Marriage is the corporate merger. Okay. I think some of you guys are having conversations with yourself and you just want us to post it. Hubby got canned 1 month before 30
years.
I think I would fight that, Benita. If that has something to do with your pension, I think I would fight that. Like if there's a significant difference between 29.9 years and 30 years, I think I would fight that. Yeah, because that's some bullshit. And that seems very intentional. Right? So Rapper MD, medical doctor says, Guadalajara, Mexico system has been state of the art while I was in school, y'all. All right. And this is an American doctor. And we always know that Black doctors are better than most other doctors because they had to be. They had to be. Even working and or retired doctors don't get free medical care in the U.S. That's bizarre.
That's stupid. That's crazy.
Right?
Stupid.
Right? Like the people who work at McDonald's get free food. I can't imagine. I can't imagine if you've got your own practice, because then who's going to give you free healthcare yourself? But if you work for a hospital or a medical practice that is, bigger than just, like a Kaiser or something like that, and you do not get free healthcare, I think you and your family should get free healthcare. So, okay, we're going to get to this. Wise words, CK says, isn't the economy built on a two-income assumption? A marriage assumption. Hence, even a high earning single is down 50% all the time. When did this become the norm? When did we allow this to become the norm? Right? And so if you know your history, it was during the 70s, right? When women started fighting for equal rights. They're like, oh, that's what you want. And when and when what is now the Republicans, I don't care what party they belong to then. What is now the Republicans saw, so once the threshold reached 50% two income households, they're like, okay, got it. Let's start changing this stuff. And they started raising the prices because they could. And this is not my opinion. This is the opinion of economists who have studied this stuff, whom I have read. I know most people don't read books these days. But, let's keep it going. All right, multiple income streams. What we actually mean by this, okay? So, what we're not talking about are jobs.
No. We're not talking about working 24/7 in the grind culture.
Right? That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about, okay? We're talking about income redundancy, right? Optionality. We're talking about control. So think of it like this. If one income stream slows down and or goes away, the whole system does not collapse. All right. So this is especially important for those of us who are single. If you are single, you should have 9 months plus saved emergency fund. 9 months plus. And I would say in the melon felons economy, you should probably have 12
months. Yeah,
right?
minimum.
Because the job market right now is just stupid. It's just stupid. Bottom line.
You want cushion.
Exactly. So let's be very clear and transparent. We've got multiple income streams, not because we're special, y'all, but because
it's necessary.
Yeah, it's always been necessary.
Yeah.
It has always been necessary. Y'all know, Rick and I never made 6 figures working for somebody else. Never, okay? And we were still able to save 65% of our income. How are we able to do that? All right.
What the heck?
What's going on? What?
Whatever that is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we've got somebody who is putting in stuff that we cannot read. So I'm going to go ahead.
It looks like
it's not translating. It kind of does
look
like
tie.
It does kind of look like tie, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm sorry. Okay, we got distracted by some of the chat, y'all.
Somebody's giving us 700,000 million baht.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and put that user on a timeout. Only because I don't know what's going on. I do not know what's going on. So thank you, Tashika.
Thank you, Tashika.
Over 1.1 million jobs lost since Trump took office, Tashika says. 1.1 million. Y'all, we do not have the luxury. And I bet you dollars to donuts. I bet you dollars to donuts that Black folks are overrepresented in that 1.1 million. How much you want to bet?
Yeah.
How much you want to bet?
I'd lose.
Right? Come on now. We know that. We know that. Thank you, JC Love Life. So both you and Tashika, y'all know that 100% of the donations that come into this channel go to our scholarship fund. We for Beyond the Bling, that's our financial freedom program for late bloomers like ourselves. So I know that we've got a lot of scholarships still yet to give out. But if you want a scholarship, just send us an email, put scholarship in the subject line. You do not have to give us a sob story or any of that stuff because I ain't gonna read it. And I'm just going to assume that anybody who is a utopian has credibility, right? And scruples. And if you need it, if you ask for it, I'm going to assume that you need it and that you would not take food out of a baby's mouth, so to speak. Right? Right. Okay. That's all I'm saying. It's crazy.
Somebody said, when will they realize racism expensive? They don't care. They know it's expensive. They don't care.
No, they don't care. I've been working on a book for 10 years, y'all, called The Economics of Racism. And going around the world and seeing how this plays out, and then seeing how it plays out in everyday life for folks who don't believe that they have any control, right? We've got a lot more control than we think we do. All right. So when we're talking about multiple income streams, y'all, I'm going to be transparent about Our Black Utopia's income streams. Here we go. We make money from YouTube. Okay. YouTube ad revenue. Once you have over 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, thank you, baby, you get monetized on YouTube, right? Now, obviously, this does not cost you anything, but we get anybody, any content creator who's met that criteria gets 51% of all ad revenue. Right? And so that could be anywhere from $200 a month to $9,000 a month on up. Seriously, y'all. Now we ain't making $9,000 a month. But for those folks who have 6 and 7 and 8 and 900,000 subscribers up to 1 million subscribers, yeah, they making money like that. They're making money like that. So we have the YouTube ad revenue. We also make money doing
coaching calls, Beyond the Bling, our flagship program, the Side Hustle Challenge,
which is coming up, right? We also make money with our digital downloads, like our Move Abroad Toolkit. The Move Abroad Toolkit is down below. And then, of course, there's a small profit margin on our annual meetup, which is coming up in June. And it's always during the Juneteenth week. So none of these alone would be enough to stabilize us, all right, or carry the load. None of those income streams alone today. But together they create options.
I mean, if you're making an extra $300 to $1,000 a month,
y'all, an extra $300 to $2,000 to $3,000 a month on top of your Social Security, on top of your pension, even if it's a smaller pension than you thought, right? And the thing that you cannot put a monetary value on is the community that is built. The utopian community, you cannot put a price tag on that. Okay. You cannot put a
No.
price tag on that. I mean, literally, we have people who we can call close acquaintances and friends around the world because of this channel. So when we're talking about other income streams, that other income stream also can include the money from high yield savings account and CDs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The money from your dividends. Okay. Do you have an ebook that you can sell? There are so many ways to make money. As a matter of fact, I met a woman, and anybody who's part of the Exodus Summit met a woman who sold pictures of her feet.
Pick feet, y'all. Pick feet.
And was bringing in, after a certain amount of time, but still bringing in $500,000 per month. $500,000 per month. Let's stop tripping. Let's stop being ultra conservative, ultra dogmatic when it comes to religiosity, especially that white man's religion, and start making this money, y'all, and stop tripping. Let's start making this money so we can have options, so we can have choices, so we can have freedom, so we can have liberty, so we can help those folks who are not in the position to move abroad, who are not in the position to be able to do some of these side hustle things. So we can help those folks.
Right.
Because everybody else in the world does it. Everybody else in the world, not everybody, comes to America, makes some money, and sends it back home. But we never think of doing that. We never think of leaving and sending money back home so that those people can be lifted up and maybe out of the hellhole called America. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. Let's see what you guys are talking about, and then we will get to the last part before we let y'all go. Oops. Kimmy says, let's open our minds to all the options. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If somebody would have said to me 4 to 5 years ago, girl, you want some extra money, you should get on OnlyFans. I would have looked at them saying, I am not a prostitute. Right? That's what I would have said. That's what I would have said. I had no idea that folks were on there selling pictures of their hands and pictures of their feet. You know, here's my feet and some chocolate. Here's my feet and some water. Here's my feet and some sand. Here's my feet with red toenails, with purple toenails, with gold toenails, and some pumps, out of the pumps. What? With some bunions, without bunions. What?
Dakota said, did she really make $500,000
yes,
a month?
Yes. She had a full staff that was going through the comments to get requests on how they wanted to see that woman's feet. Yes. Okay. There are so many ways to make money. You do not have to be stuck. You do not have to be stuck. You just have to learn how to do it smartly. Take the shortcuts. And that's what we teach in our Side Hustle Challenge, which will be available tomorrow, maybe even tonight. All right. Everything's done. I just forgot to turn it on.
Okay.
So, all right, let's see what else you guys are talking about. No. Baby girl was not showing anything past her knees. She was not showing anything past her knees. I know people who are ordained ministers who were considering doing the feet thing. Okay? Let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. Money gives you choices, right? Yes, toes and feet and bunions and corns and stuff.
Probably didn't have all that. But hey, you'd be surprised
Right?
what you put out there, who out there wants to see it or own it or
All I'm saying is if you want to pay to look at these feet, these 60-plus-year-old feet, I got pedicures all day long, right? Okay. Let me take the pictures. Let me take the pictures, right? Yeah, Halisi Real SUS, fight that and go to EEOC to get your 30-year pension. Yep, my dad was the only Black hospital computer programmer in the 90s in Brooklyn. Wow. Same happened. And he sued and got back pay and pension. Y'all don't be leaving this money on the table. Okay? Do not leave money on the table. If you are a Black woman and you have not been to Exodus Summit, the replays are in the description below. Maybe not yet. If you're watching from the future, they might be there. They're in last week's. Okay. Get the replays, learn about how not to leave money on the table, how you can negotiate for all of that, and et cetera, sweethearts. Seriously. Okay. It's for Black women only. We have at this point maybe 470 videos out there. I think we have about 400 plus videos. And every single one of those videos are our little workers. They are out there. And when people watch and then they watch the commercial or even part of the commercial, we get a few we get a few coins. Okay. So I just look at those videos as our little worker bees who are working while we're asleep. Now, is that 100% passive income? No, because we're live right now, right? Whoever sees this video next,
you have to create
right?
the content.
You got to create the content. So it's not 100% passive, but it is 80% passive, I would say.
Well, the most you work is what, a couple hours a week,
right?
Or a night.
It just depends. It just depends. So, all right. How and where do I contribute to your scholarship fund? Thank you, Linda. So all of our donations when you're in the chat on live or even in the comments, there is, I can't see it on this because I'm in a a third party program, but on YouTube, there is a dollar sign next to the chat.
If you can see it, I don't know if she'll be able to see it.
Let's see if we can see it.
Right there in the corner.
Right
there.
So that's where you can do a super chat or a super sticker, and then if you're watching from the future, it's in the comments and it's a super thanks. So, and all of that money that we get, goes into our scholarship fund. So thank you, Linda. We appreciate you. All right, let's keep it moving. And all right, I think we've gotten all of them. Okay. All right. So for everyone watching, this notion of not having one income stream is so very important. And especially today, folks, especially today, because come on, we know that the Melon Felon has been instrumental in creating the atmosphere for 300,000 Black women to now be unemployed. And that's just the statistics that we know. right? That's just the statistics that we know. We also know that between the tariffs and AI and the lack of regulations and the elimination of DEI, this also is going to affect us. And when we have an atmosphere, when we've got these major companies still trying to look as though they're growing every quarter, because that's how we measure. I don't know why we started to measure growth every quarter, but that's how it goes. Every quarter they put out something. So every quarter they have to grow. And every quarter they have to grow at least the amount that the so-called experts say they should grow, right? And so, because of this, they do silly, stupid things, these companies. They'll be laying off people to make those numbers work, right? They'll be cutting back on stuff to make those numbers work. They'll be lobbying for deregulation so they don't have to spend so much money over here to make those numbers work, as opposed to just adding value. And that's the bad part. So when you're evaluating companies for investing, make sure that they're adding value by actually creating better products or with research and development, not just by cutting back on staff, et cetera, et cetera. So when you're watching those numbers, make sure you're looking at the right stuff, okay? If you don't know about that stuff, join Beyond the Bling and we'll teach you. All right. So what we want you to notice is what we did not say. All right. What we did not say. We did not
say quit your job and become an entrepreneur.
No, we did not say that. And we did not do that. Okay. Rick and I worked a W-2 job for our entire relationship. And for our entire relationship, we had a side hustle. Now, I'm not going to lie. Our goal was that side hustle was going to become our main hustle. Mm-hmm. But we never made that happen. We never made that happen. And it's kind of hard to make that happen when you're working a full-time job if you don't know what you're doing and you're not purposeful. But we never made that happen. But that was our goal. In the meantime, in between time, what it did do is keep us out of a lot of debt and made sure that we were able to save what we needed to save. All right. So we're not talking about quitting your job and becoming an entrepreneur, right off the bat or anything like that. But what we did say is what we need to do is add layers. All right. Yeah. Every stream does not have to be big, but it creates a layer of insulation from the bullshit that the melon felon is creating. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if your monthly nut is $3,000 a month and you're making $5,000 a month, okay, or the household is making $5,000 a month, and then one person gets laid off and now you're down to $2,000 a month, but $1,000 a month is coming from independent income stream, you're probably okay. We never qualified for any of Obama's mortgage programs or any of that because of our side hustles. Because I was the main one getting laid off. I don't know why.
I don't either, baby.
Right? I was the main one getting laid off. I'm telling you. And in those in-between times, we never missed a beat because we always had that side hustle that was bringing in. We had a project. We were shooting wedding videos and commercials, corporate videos and commercials for local companies and everything like that. Okay, we were doing what needed to be done, and you should be doing the same thing too. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be under your control. That's the thing. See, we decided when those things happened, those projects. We decided whom we wanted to work with and work for with these extra things. Like we were, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because some people's like, you know what? The money ain't worth it. Not working with him. No, the money's not worth it. But by and large, we had great clients, right? And we had great paydays, sometimes as much as $15,000 to $20,000, y'all. okay, you can do that too. You can do that too. Because all of you who are watching and you are 40 plus, 45 plus years old, that means you've been doing something for 10 years. That makes you a guru. And gurus can make money. Okay. And so out of the blue, I was doing a temp job, a temporary job when I was in between jobs, because we got to hustle and grind and make that stuff work, right? And I heard the executives start talking about that they needed, some corporate videos done and this and that and the other. And I went in there and said, that's what I do. And they said, oh, wait, really? And they're like, well, Halisi shows up on time. She's on the point. She's always going above and beyond. So if she says this is what she does, then she's probably going to go over and beyond for that too. And we got the contract. We got the contract. I'm not even sure I had to show them anything to show that I could do it. And we got the contract. Okay? So every single one of you, I want you to start thinking outside of the box. I want you to start thinking creatively. What skills do you have to offer? What things do you have to offer, right? That you can make money. We did that corporate video, which was actually a commercial that they ran. It was a cable company that ran an internal commercial on their cable network, right? That's what we did. Selling, and locally selling their products, selling their cable services. And it's a huge cable network. It wasn't as big back in those days because this was about 15 years ago, but it was pretty big. It was pretty big then, and it's everywhere. It's all over the United States, okay? And they did not see anything that I had done before, but based upon what they knew about me and my work ethic, they're like, yeah. And we got paid. We got paid. And if we can get paid, y'all can get paid. You want to make sure that whatever this thing is that you're building, whatever this other income stream is that you are creating, that it is portable, especially if you want to move outside the United States. So what do we mean? If you're trying to create another income stream and that income stream is a food truck and you're saying that you want to leave the United States, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense, right? So that's what we're talking about. It needs to be portable. It also needs to be sustainable, yes. Right? Sustainable. So something that not only can be done, is easily done, but that you want to do. Some things are not sustainable. Like going live 5 hours a day is not sustainable. Not by yourself, maybe with a staff. Whether you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? That's not sustainable. Here's another thing that's not sustainable. I want y'all to think about this because we know a lot of people who are amazing chefs. To me, you do not need some special certification to be a chef. If you start creating culinary things that are like not from a recipe, but you just creating some new stuff, you a chef. And we got 2, 3, 4 chefs in our circle that can cook. And some of these people in their other life as a side hustle used to make physical products.
Yeah.
Right? Our friends like Miss Penny's Kitchen, she had like 20 different products that she made every single week for the farmers market. Little mini like peach cobblers and key lime pie and all kind of desserts, as well as savory things, and all of this other stuff. And she was all week long making all this shit. Y'all, that's not what we talking about. We too old for that. We ain't making all that.
That takes a lot of time and energy.
It takes a lot of time and energy, right? And you cannot make money while you sleep. That you are making the physical products. Okay. So that's not what we're talking about. If you want to do that here and there, fine. If you want to work that hard, fine. We ain't going to stop you. We are not going to stop you. But that's not what we're talking about. Okay. All right. Let's take a second and say thank you, thank you, thank you to Benita.
Thank you, Benita,
for our super sticker.
Yes.
We appreciate you. And Dee just became a member. Welcome to the Utopians. We'll see you next week behind the scenes. A Better Life just gave a super sticker and they're a member. Okay, see, here's the thing. You see that little thing right there. Now on your screen, it probably shows a Sankofa.
No, it shows.
Yeah, but no, in the chat, a Sankofa bird, right? For those who are members.
Yes.
But this third party shows this little thing. They are a member and they are donating. And so we really, really appreciate Benita, A Better Life, RBG for the win. I think that's what it says. RGB for the win.
RBG for the win.
I love it. I love it. And then we also have Linda who says gifted 10 memberships. 10 memberships, y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So,
and of course,
our tried and true Dennis. Thank you,
Dennis.
I continue to be concerned about the money losing value as this regime practices more cronyism. Yeah. Yes. If the next Fed chair is another Trump stooge, capital may flee the US and result in a huge sell-off in the bond market. Okay. And so folks, what he is talking about, because we're still talking about passive income, we're still talking about other income. For those of us who are invested in the stock market and the bond market, which should be every single person who is watching should be invested in the stock market and maybe the bond market. And so federal bonds, which are federally guaranteed and even, local bonds, these are the instruments by and large that pay for infrastructure and things like that. They have a guaranteed return, but that guaranteed return is going down. And the return is always based upon what the Fed chair says. Now, this Fed chair was appointed by.
He was appointed
Trump.
By him, he's not a sycophant.
But he's not MAGA. No. He is more concerned about his own legacy and making sure that his name goes down in history doing the right thing. All right. So he's trying to do his job well. And so consequently, he hasn't lowered interest rates the way the melon felon wants him to lower them. Either way it goes, when other countries stop buying our bonds, we're in trouble, y'all. We're in big trouble. And they have really kind of stopped buying our bonds. They have. Why? Because number one, we don't pay our bills. Because Republicans since the 1990s have decided that paying bills is optional for them. Optional for thee, but not for we, right? We have to pay our bills on time. But when the GOP is in charge of the government, you got to understand, they don't have to have the White House to be in charge of the government, y'all, okay? They don't like to pay their bills. Even though they always talk about responsibility. See the hypocrisy in the whole thing. It is so hypocritical. It is not even funny. All right. So when we're talking about making this money and we're talking about what you should do to make extra money, if you are planning to move abroad, you want to make sure that it is portable, that you can take it with you, that it is sustainable and you can take it with you, because that is the only way. Like for the move abroad people, yeah, right? This is how we do it, right? We're not buying food trucks, y'all. No shade on food trucks. We love us some food trucks and some food truck food, but not as a business if you're trying to move abroad.
Now, once you get here,
maybe you buy a food truck where you're going, but not before you go, unless you plan to sell it, right? So you want to make sure that you can handle emergencies. And that's the thing. Um, the first bit of money is to get out of Dodge. After that, if you have not reached full fire, if you don't know what fire is, you know you need to join Beyond the Bling. That's our financial freedom program. If you have not reached full fire, then you want to make sure that you've got the extra. Okay, for us, is to fly and to travel more. I was about to say to fly first class, but but really we've been using points and stuff to fly first class.
Right.
But to have that extra travel and things like that. We also do house sitting. We'll talk about that at another time. You wanted to handle emergencies,
Yes.
right? What else?
You
Like,
want to age with dignity,
right?
Say no when they need to.
Hello. You want to be able to say no when you want to say
Yeah.
no. And you can't say no when you want to say no all the time if you don't have the money to back that shit up. Okay. We call that FU money. FU money. Like, oh, we done laid off all these people and we gonna need, oh, Priscilla, we gonna need you to do so and so's job. And can you just pick up a little bit of this for a while? It's always for a while, right? And then the next thing you know, that's your job.
We were just talking about that with the utopians and stuff.
Exactly.
They asked one person if they wanted to keep, and they said, "Nope, I'm out.
Right?
I'm out.
Right?
No, I'm tired of this shit."
Mm-mm. No. And every single time, y'all, every single time, especially with smaller companies, they replace us with two, three, four people, right? Two, three, four people. But while we're there, somehow we do not qualify for that raise. We do not qualify for that promotion or anything else. But then they have to replace us with multiple people. So I know that most of us were raised by the silent generation and baby boomers, and they have a certain
What you pointing at me for?
baby boomers. They have a certain philosophy when it comes to job loyalty, but babies, these jobs ain't loyal. I think we figured that out by now. But for any of you who have not figured that out, even government jobs these days cannot be depended upon. Okay. And so you've got to have multiple streams of income. You've got to have multiple streams of income. And it's not hard. And we can, and today, with the internet, we have democratized, the internet has democratized capitalism. You can distribute, you looking at me right now, you can distribute your service worldwide.
Yes,
There has not been a better time to be alive. Because when we were young, you better go get a lemonade stand or something. What? The only thing that you could do was get a second job, right? The only thing that you could do was try to pick up some shifts at, being a greeter at Walmart or some such nonsense, right? That is no longer the case. No. You do not have to give up your time for money. You might have to give up some time, but not the same. I can't make $50 unless I work 5 hours. No, those days are over. Okay. They're over. So I want you to change your thinking, change your mindset, and let's start thinking creatively. Because for those of us who started late, who were late bloomers when it comes to getting your shit together, when it comes to money, not because we weren't responsible, we might have good credit scores, but only $10,000, $15,000 in the bank, maybe no thousands in the bank, right? And still got a good credit score because mama and them said, just pay your bills on time, right? That's what mama and them said. But today, that's not enough. It's not enough, all right? All right, so let's see what you guys are talking about. You guys got questions for us? Let's see. All right, Lady Sarita, we will see you next week. We will see you next week. Oh, somebody does day trading. Okay. I don't know nothing about day trading. Hats off to all y'all who do. I don't know. And also, day trading and investing are not necessarily the same things, y'all. Okay. Day trading is investing, but all investing is not day trading. Okay. So we invest, we are an invest and hold type of folks. Okay. So we look at a company, we look at an index fund, we make some decisions based upon the analytics, and then we say, okay, we're not going to assume anything for the next 3 years. We think that this is how it's going to be, so we're going to buy and hold. All right. That's how we invest. Whereas day trading, as the name says, they trade every day.
Yeah, you really got to know what you're
That's
doing.
that's a job. That's
You gotta
work.
know what you're
Okay.
doing.
That's not passive income. Say that again.
You got to really know what you're doing.
You got to
So
really know what you're doing.
my hat is off to the day trader, for real.
For real, for real. For real. I don't know. I don't get it. And all them like candlestick things and all that stuff every day, every minute, and you know, no, I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I do
Yeah,
know. I do
you
know
got
what
to
they're
be on
talking
top
about.
of it. You can't really depend on somebody else to be on top for you. You
No,
have to be on top of it.
you definitely have to be on top of it, and I do. I actually do know, understand. I just don't want to work that hard. I just don't. I don't want to sit there all day and try and look at stuff and to find the patterns to see the strategy, right? To
But
create the
you know,
strategy, right? So,
some people love the hunt. They love the game. They like being in it.
but know that it is work, y'all. Okay. Yes, big returns, big risks, but it is work. It is not a game. There is a strategy. There are analytics. Okay. It's not gambling
It's not for the faint of
necessarily,
heart.
nor is it for the faint of heart. So that's all I'm saying. For those of you who love it, and Cinnamon is one of them, who's here in Portugal, who inspired
Yeah,
one of the people who
there's
inspired us. She's a day trader.
I know a few
I
day
ain't, I ain't
traders.
mad at y'all. I just don't want to work that hard. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the super sticker. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. All right, what else are you guys talking about? Mexican, I think the healthcare system has an average of 10% return. No, HYSA, and that's something else. I don't know what HYSA is, Paula. Has an average 10% returns, working to move some of my money into pesos. What's HYSA? Obviously, it's something with the banking system if you're talking about moving money into pesos. Let us know. Do I have to pay off all credit cards before departure? Hey, Christine. Let's leave that up there for a second. Do you want to
You don't
chime in?
have to pay off all credit cards. Be great to have them all paid off, but you got to have a plan. You got to have a system of how to pay them off and make and set a time that you're going to have them paid off. You don't want to let them keep going or going and going. You know, you want to get them taken care of as soon as possible. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. Yeah, Christine, it depends, right? You can't like there's no universal answer to this question. Because it all depends upon income, cash flow, goals, risk management. Like if you are risk averse, if you're really risk averse, I would say, yeah, you got to have them credit cards paid off.
Hmm.
If you can tolerate a little bit of uneasiness and knowing that stuff works out, then so there's that part. um for some folks, if you're making the same amount of money and moving to a lower cost of living, right,
Yeah.
then it might be easier to pay off your credit cards after you move. So it depends. There's just one blanket answer, which is why we have one-on-one coaching. And that is also in the description below. We coach people. We look at your circumstances. We look at, the money you've got it coming in, the money you've got saved, et cetera, et cetera. And then you ask questions like this, and we can give you an answer that is specific to you. Okay. Explain capital gains owing taxes when selling your home valued around 440,000. Thank you. So it depends on where you're living and all that stuff, y'all. Okay. So let's just say for the average American in the United States, right? And you have a house that you owe $200,000 on and you sell it for 440,000. Now you've got 220,000 in capital gains. In the United States, $250,000, you can have $250,000 worth of capital gains from your home without claiming it. And so for a couple, I believe that's 500,000. Double check me on all of this. I'm going off the dome, y'all. I'm going off the dome. For everybody else, or everything else, you need to reinvest that money in the United States back into another piece of property. And I believe it has to be your primary residence, but maybe not. It could be investing in the stock market or something else. Double check that. I can't remember. But that has to happen within 6 months.
Yeah.
Here in Portugal, you've got 2 years to reinvest that money. And I don't know, like in the United States, I know 250,000, you got that, right? And I think the 250 is if you've had the house for more than 10 years. So the flip it people don't get that. If you're flipping houses, you don't get that 250, I don't believe. But I think you've got to be in your house for a certain amount of time to get the 250 off the cuff, okay, per person. So double check that. Again, here in Portugal, you get 2 years to reinvest that money as opposed to 6 months. So that was the case at least 8 months ago, if they haven't changed it. Right. Yeah. So, Joy, if I see your home is valued at 440, how much do you owe? So, right, folks, right. So, if you've paid off your home and it's worth 440, now you've got $440,000 capital gains at this point. If you owe 200, it's 240, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So saying what the home is valued with without saying how much you owe on it, if you owe anything, doesn't really give us a clear picture. But I think y'all get the point, and you can do the rest on your own. So thank you, Action VJ. A Better Life asks, so do we invest into the EU stock market, Asian other, if dumpster fire kills the US stock market? It is going to be a little bit challenging for most Americans to invest in foreign stock markets outside of the US. There are tax implications, and the tax implications are different depending upon what country. So I can't tell you what those are. For us, at this point, it is more advantageous for us to stay within the US stock exchange, but to invest in companies that are outside of the US. So there are tons of European, South American, Asian, Southeast Asian, etc., index funds. So I would start there. Unless you want to do deep dives, I would start with the index funds because at least you've got a broad range of companies, right, that are in that one fund. And so that gives you some diversity within that sector or market. And so for Rick and I, for the most part, we do have investments in individual stocks that are foreign companies. And we get our education and strategy through Better Investing. That is a nonprofit organization that we have no affiliation with besides being members. Okay. We don't get nothing out of it. It's a nonprofit. Better Investing is an organization that started back in the 50s and is part of the Investing Club movement. Okay. And so we use their strategy when deciphering what kind of companies and or index funds that we want to invest in. And there's another organization too, but I'm not going to get into that here. So yeah, right now we are not going to invest here in Portugal through the Portuguese stock market because of the tax implications. So if we wanted to, and brick companies as well, or brick not brick companies, but companies that are in brick nations. We're investing in those as well, and we're looking at those index funds as well. Index funds that are the majority of the companies or whatever are in those brick nations. So if you don't know what bricks are, we did do a video on it. So go back about 7 months or so, maybe even a year at this point, and you'll see we did a couple of videos on bricks. Okay, and BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They also have about 20.
Yeah, about over 20.
20 other companies, countries, not companies.
That are,
is there they have about
that are in BRICS too.
Yeah, that are either trading partners or members of BRICS. So even, y'all, things they are a changing. And if you do not know what the BRICS nations are, you watch our videos and then do some additional research.
And they have the majority. They have the majority of the population
are in BRIC nations.
Nations.
As a matter of fact, the majority of the growth, the economic growth, have been in BRIC nations. So, Western domination, y'all. You realize that, right? You realize that. You realize that. For any of you who think that you're going to fight and bring America back to where it was, like, I'm not going to even say the best America was probably in the 70s. We had low unemployment for periods of time. White folks were feeling real guilty. So we had all of these programs, right, for affirmative action and everything like that. And then the 80s came and we got the welfare queen and everything else, and it went right back downhill. So, all right.
What's the avocado queen saying?
So avocado queen is asking, what do you recommend for the everyday person who isn't an entrepreneur, doesn't want to open a YouTube channel, maintain their privacy? Thank you both for your commitments to Black liberation. Thank you, avocado queen. The YouTube channel is not the only way to do a side hustle, y'all. Okay. Nor do you have to necessarily show your face doing a YouTube channel.
They do have faceless channels. Faceless channels.
Yes. Most of us are not entrepreneurs because we have not been taught to be entrepreneurs. But that doesn't mean that we don't have an entrepreneurial spirit. Okay. And so our side hustle challenge, which we are launching in January, can show you how to make money off of the skills, talents, or passions that you already have. Okay. It's interesting that you guys say maintain privacy. Rick and I got privacy.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, do y'all really know us? Come on. Do you really know us? You think you know us, right? You know what we tell you. And everything that we tell you is true, yes. But we don't tell you everything. Come on now. You know how Big Mama said. So, we tell you everything that is relative, that makes sense regarding money, travel, and life abroad, right? But that's in specifically to living life abroad, not just life in general, right? So when we talk about privacy, it's not as if we walk down the street and we're Beyonce and Jay-Z, y'all. Like Christina and Aman are not even Beyonce and Jay-Z. They can walk, they can go to the grocery store and nobody looks at them.
Yeah.
Okay. That's our journey.
I mean,
And they've got
every once in a while somebody might recognize.
every once in a while.
But,
And
yeah.
even with them, yeah, every once in a while, people recognize you. But by and large, it's not like that. It really, it really isn't. And I know when we have our meetups and stuff, y'all make us feel special. Y'all make us feel special. But every other day, we feeling like just like y'all. Okay, this is just something that we do. It is not. It's not like doing Hollywood movies. It's just not. And it may seem that way in the United States, but 300 million people in the United States, y'all. And we only have 80,000 plus subscribers. Hopefully getting to 100,000. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. We know 50% of the people who are watching are not subscribed, right? 300 million, 85,000 subscribers. Come on. You really have to have millions and millions and millions of subscribers to not have privacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but I think even like a Don Lemon has
Even
privacy.
he doesn't get recognized.
Joy Reid, she has privacy. I mean, but they're very well known.
Yeah, and they don't get recognized. They're not Jay-Z and Beyonce. I know for me, I would recognize Don Lemon and Joanne Reid, and I don't care what they got on. But then I'm a news junkie and a Politico and stuff like that, right? But for the average person, they're not gonna recognize them. They are not. They are not. And I haven't met Don Lemon, but I have met Joanne Reid a few times. And yeah. Being an entrepreneur does not mean starting a brick and mortar place, right? If you are a person, say you worked you were a teacher or you were administrator in a organization or corporation. If you were a person who said, you know what, it would be better if we did X, Y, and Z to solve this problem instead of the way we've been doing it. That's entrepreneurial. Okay. So let's stop thinking about it in terms of I got to go to SBA and get me a business loan. Then I get me my LLC and come up with some stupid name and then get my logo. And then I'm going to open this barbecue place. And no, that's not what being an entrepreneur is necessarily. An entrepreneurial spirit is someone who is looking on how to do things in a different or better way to add value to something that already exists or to create something that doesn't exist. Both, okay? So it's not something is not necessarily something that has to be started from scratch. I'm going to create something that does not exist and I got to get a patent and all of that stuff to be an entrepreneur. Okay. So let's think more broadly. And I bet you dollars to donuts, Avocado Queen, that you are an entrepreneurial spirit because you probably wouldn't be watching us if you weren't. Because I think anybody who is curious has an entrepreneurial spirit.
That's it.
Right? And I think that the majority of the people who are watching us are curious people. Y'all are learners. Y'all like to read. Y'all like to learn stuff and know stuff and become more aware and informed, right? That's who utopians are. And so if that's the type of person you are, then you already have an entrepreneurial spirit. What we are going to teach you is how to take that spirit and put some systems behind it to clock them dollars. That's what we're going to teach you. Okay. All right. So every January, and then in the late summer, we have a side hustle cohort. Okay. And here's the thing. I've known a lot of people, and it's like when I was talking to Josh, and she's like, Mom, she calls me Mom. I've tried a lot of things. I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried this, and I've tried that, and I never stick with it. So I'm not sure if this is for me. I'm not sure if a side hustle is for me because, I've tried all of these things and then it always falls by the wayside. And then I just end up with this W-2 job.
Yeah.
Is that you?
People always promise themselves more discipline.
Yeah, they just
I'm gonna
need
be
more.
more disciplined. I'm gonna lose weight this year. I'm
Right.
gonna do this year.
But that's not what you actually need. What you need is a system, right? Systems are buildable and systems are teachable. And that's what we will teach you. We will teach you the system of creating money. You will come up with the how you're going to make money. What are you going to offer? We will teach you the system to do it. So in the second week of January, y'all, we are opening the next side hustle challenge, not to create chaos, not to create some more hustle and grind and none of that. No, we're trying to help you create controlled cash flow that you can control. All right. Y'all know that Rick and I live here in Portugal for under 3,000 euros per month, $3,000 per month, 3,000 euros per month, $3,000 per month. Both. Because $3,000 is probably like 2,700 euro, 2,500, something like that, for under that per month. But that does not quench our travel. Our travel bug.
Have the travel bug.
As a matter of fact, we're going to go see Josh Johnson in London in January. I can't wait. And even during that, here's the thing, y'all. Even during that, we are still going to be coaching people via the Side Hustle Challenge while we're in London. See, you've got to pick something that is portable so you can still live the life you want to live. And while I'm in London, I'm going to take a few hours and I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go live a couple of days and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But otherwise, we're good to go and we're going to do the Harry Potter tour. I got to do the Harry Potter tour. So for those of you who don't know, you know that I believe that all reading, fiction reading, is you can learn something from. Okay, you can learn something from. And MAGA does not read. So if MAGA does not read, then you know what that means. That means we got to read. We got to read. Because anything that they do, we do the opposite for the most part.
So this isn't about working harder.
No. It's not about working hard. It's about making life less fragile, especially with the melon felon in office and with all of the nonsense that is going on. We cannot be at the mercy of this stupid regime, y'all. We cannot. We just cannot. Nor can we be at the mercy of pure capitalism, which is what is going on right now, right? It's just no. Just no. It's about, because no. One income stream is a risk. Multiple income streams.
Strategy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Strategy. That's a strategy. And we will show you how. So you just have to be willing to do the Side Hustle Challenge. Now, y'all, we're not taking 100 people or anything like that. We're taking a limited amount of folks because we will go over every single piece of assignments and stuff that you turn in. We're going to give you feedback on your plan. Okay. Rick and I will give you feedback, personal feedback just for you. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, y'all. It's a lot of work, but we're going to meet 10 times. Previously, we've only met live 5 times, but this cohort, we are meeting 10 times every single week for 10 weeks. We're going to meet. And by the end of those 10 weeks, you will have, even if right now you have no idea what you want to do, we will get you from, I ain't got no idea, to launch within 10 weeks. If you do what you're supposed to do, if you do what we say do.
Yeah. This is true.
Am I lying?
No.
All right. If you've been in the Side Hustle Challenge before, we want to hear from you either in the comments if you're watching from the future, hey, or if you are in the chat right now. Let us know. Let us know. Are we lying? Are we on point? Are we lying? Or are we on point? All right. So Benita asks, which is first, Beyond the Bling or Side Hustle Challenge? It depends. It depends. Beyond the Bling is ongoing, okay? And we meet every month for Beyond the Bling. That's our financial freedom program for late bloomers. There is a side hustle module within Beyond the Bling, but Beyond the Bling is for people who need to get their money straight overall, who, don't know about, saving and investing and all of those other things. And maybe you want to learn a side hustle. Okay. So that's Beyond the Bling. Whereas our Side Hustle Challenge just concentrates on creating that business, creating that cash flow or those streams of cash flow. Because of, Our Black Utopia, as we just said, brings in about 5 streams of income from courses, from digital downloads, from coaching, from our programs and courses, and then as well as YouTube. That's 5 streams. And that does not include the dividends that we get from our investing, because we reinvest those anyway. So so we don't even know what they are.
And the streams of income make it so you can invest more money.
That part. Okay. So if you need, that's another thing. Maybe you don't need money for today. Maybe you just don't have the nest egg, right? You don't have all of the extra savings that you want to make you feel comfortable, right? So this side hustle could be that extra money. Because every dollar has a job, right? Every dollar has a job. That's what Amon taught me. Every dollar has a job. And so even the dollars that are earned from post activities, right? You should have an assignment. So for instance, our YouTube money is going to go into our, FU fund. And the course money is going to go into our vacation fund. And the digital download money is going to go into our emergency fund. And this money, you get it. Every dollar earned has a job. So thank you again, P Dash. And in my desired reality. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Day trading is hard, but I love it. Good. It's adrenaline rush. But what a job. Now, look, if y'all can master it, you can make them dollars. You can make them dollars if you can master it. I don't think that I have the personality for that. I don't even like doing Vegas, y'all. I don't even like putting a nickel in the slot machines, that hard earned nickel. So I don't know that I have the personality for it. But yeah, if you can master it, you can bring in them ducats. You really, really can. But no buts. And when considering a side hustle, make sure that it is in line with your personality as well. Okay. I know that my personality could not handle it. I would be stressed the hell out.
That's the thing.
Right? The thing. I would be stressed the hell out.
It's not for the lighthearted. It's truly not.
It's not. So there is a difference between day trading and investing, y'all. Okay. There is all day trading is investing. All investing is not day trading. Once again. Thank you. Astrud 11. Thank you for the super chat again. 100% of the super chat, super thanks money goes into our scholarship fund, super sticker, super chat, super thanks. Yeah. Goes into our scholarship fund for Beyond the Bling. That's our financial freedom program for late bloomers. And if you need a scholarship, y'all, all you have to do is ask. We don't need to hear a sob story or anything like that because we're just going to assume, that you need it. All right, let's see. Let me make sure that I didn't miss anything. I don't know if you guys saw. Okay, this is off topic, y'all, but I thought of it. Okay, so we did that one. What do you recommend for the everyday person who isn't an entrepreneur, doesn't know? Okay, we did that one. I thought that was another way to ask, but that's the same one. Okay. All right. Let's go all the way back down to the bottom. I think we did it, y'all. Did we do it? Did we do it early this time? Because we will be seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah.
We will be seeing you tomorrow. Okay. For the next day of our 12 days of Christmas. We will be seeing you tomorrow. Rick and Halisi, I think the wheels are churning, but I have not pinpointed it yet. People must want to do it. Yep. It must be explained step by step. Yep. My boss used to tell me that I know how to explain things. Look for the patterns. When people start telling you over and over, you're really good at XYZ, don't play it off. Don't, oh, thank you. You know how we do, because mama said, pretty is what pretty does and all of that stuff, right? You got to be humble and all that stuff. But listen to the things that people are telling you, because when you start to see a pattern, you might want to think, now how can I monetize this? That does not mean you have to be exploitive, because we're not exploitive, right? But it also means that it is time for us to stop giving away everything as well. Okay? We Black folks have a tendency to want to give away all of our talents for free, because that's what I was going to say. I don't know if y'all have heard that African man who is now an American resident or citizen. Anyway, it went viral. He was talking about Black Americans have no culture. And one of the things, and he's, people with microphones really need to be careful, especially when they don't know as much as they think they know. And it's fine not to know. It's not fine not to know that you don't know. And this man thinks he knows, and he doesn't know, because he doesn't know us. Most people outside of America do not really know Black Americans. They think they do because they sing our songs and they dance our dances and they dress like us and they copy us, right? But they really don't know us, right? And so, yeah, really easy to say that we have no culture. But one part of our culture, because we do have a culture, is that community comes first. We always have to give back, give back, give back. Each one, reach one, teach one. That is part of our culture, right? And true, that which is why 100% of our donations goes to our scholarship fund, so that we can reach people who cannot necessarily afford the prices that we're charging.
And that's giving back.
And that's the giving back, right?
But you don't have to give your soul.
No, exactly.
You do not have to give your soul.
Exactly. How do I get on the wait list for the Side Hustle Challenge? If it is not in the description below, it will be there as about 10 minutes after we end this. There's like a 3-part process to putting the description in, y'all. Because we simulcast on other platforms and we use this third-party application, it's like sometimes we remember and then sometimes we be late with the stuff. All right. So when I say that, that's why. Okay. But inevitably, the wait list for the Side Hustle Challenge, it is on our website, ourblackutopia.com. You can click there. But it is also in last Thursday's or last Sunday's videos, or the Sunday before that, all the previous videos. But it'll be in this video too in about 10 minutes after we hang up. The luxury puzzle is I hate gambling. I hate it too. Like I've never been into that. Even when I was younger and I didn't really understand the full value of money, even in those days, I did not like gambling. My mom said, "Damn, why are you so tight?" I don't know why I'm so tight because y'all made me feel like I had to be tight. That's why. I don't know. It's not full because we have not started selling seats yet, Angel. So it is not full yet. Um, yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you, Dee. Love your smile. Speak it, Halisi and Rick. Thank you. Glad I'm a 70s baby. I like I it breaks my heart that if that our grandkids will not get to enjoy some of the things that we got to enjoy, like playing in the streets, right, without having to worry and all of those things. It's heartbreaking. It really, really is. The babies here do get to enjoy that kind of lifestyle. They really do, and they basically stay out until the street lights come on, don't they?
Oh,
They be hanging out.
yes, they do.
And then the young adults, even those without cars and stuff, they be hanging out till 2, 3 in the morning. They be in those parks and stuff, talking and playing music and whatever else they're doing down there. Those days are over. I know when we were coming up, career education wise, it's a wrap for my daughters and sons generation, right? They just can't do it, right? It is. So the America that we grew up in, the America that we got to enjoy, the America that it's over. It's over. I like what's so sad is at this point, I'm not even sure if America will ever live up to its promise.
All you can do is hope. That's it. Hope and a prayer.
I don't even know if I hope anymore. I don't know. I don't know if I hope. I do not know if I hope.
Well, I hope.
So
I mean, I hope for the people that
I
can't leave,
exactly. I was just about to say
that
that.
have so much in their mind that, you know, they can't leave, they don't want to leave for whatever reason, you know. My hope and prayers for them.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to say the same thing. I started thinking about our kids and grandkids and stuff, and so yeah, yeah. Actually, I do hope. I do. But so thank you, thank you, thank you. Simu. I know I'm not pronouncing that right, baby. I know I'm not. I know I'm not. What do you think? I know I'm not. I don't know. But she gifted 5 memberships. So we thank you. We appreciate
Yes.
you. We appreciate you. Okay. Let us wrap this up because I think we've done it.
So, do we have a time yet?
We don't have a time. Did you decide on time? We don't have a time. We don't know when we're going live tomorrow. We know what we're talking about. Elisa Renice. I love Alicia Renice. I love her. I love her. Is she here? I don't know if she I haven't I don't know if she's here. Anyway, I love her voice. I have introduced so many people to her music and stuff. I love her, love her, love her. All right. Can you post a list of important things to ship and what to do with the other BS that should be get to the car? So John Malone. First of all, we have the Move Abroad Toolkit. Okay, that is in the description below, and everything that we learned doing this move, we put into that toolkit, and everything that we've learned since. Some of the things that we didn't even think about is in that toolkit. But we cannot tell you the important things to ship because it depends on where you're going. What is true to bring to Querétaro, Mexico, where some of our good friends are, Angela and Lamar, right? Is not necessarily something you want to bring here to Portugal, nor vice versa, right? So you can bring your clippers to Mexico. You probably shouldn't bring your clippers here. So that's why what we do, John, is we give you the questions to ask yourself so that you can make those decisions based upon where you're going. Okay. I like Godfrey too, rapper MD. I do. As a matter, I love his like another racial moment, or something like that. And back at racial headquarters, another racial moment is that other guy. Racial moment. That's that other guy. But Godfrey does, back at racism headquarters, that's what he does.
And then I like when he does imitations.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He is hilarious. So, Benita, yeah, we don't know what time tomorrow yet. We do not know. We do not know. Okay, post a list of things. I talked about that. Okay, I think we did it, y'all. I think we did it. That part. That part. That part.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And so for those of you I just want you to know, everywhere you go, for those of you who haven't traveled as much as we have, and we haven't traveled that much, y'all, but those of you who haven't traveled as much as we are, I'm just going to tell you, number one, we everywhere. We are everywhere. You will see people who look like your cousins and Big Mama and them everywhere you go. Okay. They might not everywhere, right? Everywhere. They might not speak your language, nope. But we are everywhere. Number two, Black American culture, African American culture is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Our music, our style, our swag, our dance, all of this everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. So,
I don't know how many people, when we were in not Curacao,
Colombia, Medellin,
or both places. I don't know how many times I walked past some young guy and wanted to say, "Pull your pants up," because they do it everywhere.
And even here in Portugal, how many people you see? LA caps and New York caps. LA caps and New York caps.
Lord,
everywhere. All over the world.
Color, everywhere.
All over the world. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. But look, if you need help coming up with a plan to move abroad, we can help you. We offer one-on-one coaching. We also have the Move Abroad Toolkit. If you need help getting your money straight, like how to save, how to recognize the income gap, et cetera, and invest and all of that, it's Beyond the Bling. That's our financial freedom program for those of us who are late bloomers. Right? But look, if you're only 20 or 30, this will help you too. And you'll be ahead of the game, right? You will be ahead of the game. But it really is geared for folks who forgot to plan. Right?
Yeah, it is.
Our Side Hustle Challenge is coming up. We will have the sign up probably in the next 24 hours, if not tonight. No, it's 10:30 here. It's 10:30 here, y'all. So probably tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it tonight, but it'll probably be tomorrow. I'm going to send out an email. If you're on the wait list, you will be notified first, okay? The people on the wait list will be notified first. I'll put the wait list information definitely in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'll make sure that the page is working and all of that stuff and get that done. What else we got to offer? Oh, our meetup. The meetup information is in the description below as well. We've already had 2 meetup info sessions. Our meetup is June 15th, June 16th here in Lisbon, Portugal. We start partying the Thursday or Friday before our meetup. Our meetup is Monday and Tuesday. We start partying the Thursday or Friday before, and then we go all the way through Juneteenth, y'all. Okay? It is a whole thing. And if you were thinking about moving abroad, you'll want to come. You just want to come. Everybody who comes is not necessarily moving to Portugal. But if you're thinking about moving to Portugal, then you've definitely got to come. If Bobby is in the house, and I saw her earlier, let them know. We have gotten so many folks who have moved here, especially single folks who have moved here, but came to our meetup. And as soon as they landed, they had a host of friends. Okay. You don't have to worry about being all alone, especially for those of us who are single. Well, I'm not single, but those of you who are single, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. There's community. There's community in Panama. There's community in Colombia. There's community in Mexico. There's community in Spain. There's community in Ghana. There's community in South Africa. There is community.
Yes, there is.
Okay. You do not have to be alone. We love you.
Sometimes you just got to come and see for yourself.
Exactly. And don't let other people talk you out of stuff. And don't let other people say, well, that place is racist. Every place is racist. Go experience it for yourself. We'll tell you the places where we hear a pattern where most people say it's racist, but you still have to go experience it for yourself. Because, like, Spain to me is racist, but Italy to me is racist. But I know lots of Black people who love Spain. I love Spain. I love
I
vacationing
love
there.
Italy.
And I love Italy.
I enjoyed Italy.
And I just met a homeboy in the store. He happened to hear me talking and stuff, and he spoke English. Black dude, born and raised in Italy. And I said, it's racist there. And he's like, I said, more racist than here, actually. And he said, I don't think so.
But a lot of people that go and they might say something against it, or this place is this way, this place. That's their experience.
Exactly.
You need to have your own experience.
You need to have your own experience. Okay. So put your guard down, go experience it, look for your dream place, get our Move Abroad Toolkit, see the database so that you can search for the places and the cities within those countries that has your budget. And let's get a plan going. You need help with your money, help with the side hustle, you know who to contact. We're going to see you tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow, y'all. I don't know what time. We'll figure it out. But look,
make sure you be in the afternoon or later afternoon. You guys' time.
Yeah, it's going to be in the late morning to afternoon your guys' time. But hit that notification bell so that you will know when we drop a video or we go live. Hit the like, and we'll see you later. Bye, y'all. We love you. Bye.